Alright, what I have here is the front jaw. This is the outside jaw that'll slide in and out. And what this needs is a steel plate on the outside for the rod to grip onto and push onto. So what I found, probably the best source for this material is this stuff here. This is a bearing plate for like a jack post, a lolly post. This is a post you would see in a basement holding up a beam. And this would be on the top or on the bottom, usually with one of these on it. As far as I know, you can buy these separately because they get damaged or lost during construction, whatever, and they should be fairly cheap. So what I'm going to do is I need to make a 1-inch hole roughly in the center. It actually will be in the center of this because I can move it down a little bit. Cut the 1-inch hole, and I'm going to grind off these nubs here that are sticking out and clean up the face of it a bit. Also, there's 2 holes here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill 2 more holes, one over here and one over here to match, so that's what will bolt it on the front. The way I'm going to drill this hole is with a series of smaller holes with the drill press, and then I'm going to punch out what's left. And after that, I'll be left with some jagged edges in here. I'll just grind those down with a die grinder to get it smoothed out. And the main thing is that it's a good hole for the rod of the lead screw to fit in. So I'll get to that now. Okay, what I've done is I went ahead and I ground off those nubs flush with the surface, and I put some masking tape on here and carefully laid out where my hole is. I drew the circle with a 3/4 inch socket, and that leaves a line that's a little bit bigger than 1 inch. You want the hole to be just slightly bigger than 1 inch so that the rod fits in well. I put it's a little bit bigger than 1/8, but it's the only one that I got that's this small and this sharp right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a series of holes, like I said, around here, and I'm going to punch out the center. The masking tape is not only good for layout, it also helps to guide the bit so that you don't have to make center punch divots all the way around. I was never into that anyway. I'm too lazy for doing those kind of things. So the masking tape will help to keep the bit from wandering. Clear the chips now. It's getting so it's obscuring my line. I want to make the holes as close as possible together and stay back of the line a little bit if possible. That's it. I'm just going to go and punch this out with a good solid punch or something, a piece of threaded rod or something. You can see that I was holding this while I was drilling this. If you're not confident about holding a piece of steel like this while you're drilling out holes like this, by all means clamp it down. I know that this bit is too small to exert enough torsion on this part because it's too big for it to really twist and yank. If this is a smaller, thinner piece of sheet metal, I would most definitely clamp it down to a board that I can move around then. But like I say, if you're not confident with holding it, please clamp it down. Alright, I'm going to try to punch this out now. This is only one way of cutting out this hole. I mean, if you've got access to a torch, you could do it with that. Might leave a bit of a sloppy hole, but that's one way. Another way is to use a hole saw, the right size hole saw. That's excellent. Makes a nice clean hole. There's several different ways. I mean, this is just the way I chose to use because, well, it's what I have available right now. I don't have a hole saw this size. I don't have a step drill that'll go up this big. So I'll do it this way. It works. Just got a piece of 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch steel bar here that I'm going to try to drive this out. You want something pretty heavy like this to do this. And I'm trying hard not to hit my hand. That would ruin my morning. That's starting to move now. You can see the respect I got from my workbench dog holes. I got a lot of stuff happening in the workshop lately, and the stuff is cluttered everywhere. It's pretty thick metal, so it's not gonna be easy. It will eventually come out. There it goes. I did leave a little bit here because that hole that was there originally was not quite centered, but I'll be able to clean that up with the die grinder. You can see, keep that as a souvenir. Hey, it's a little metal gear. Okay, I've got this held real firmly in my vise. If you've got a metalworking vise, that's even better. I don't yet. And I've got my, this is a battery powered die grinder. It works pretty good. This is a carbide, a solid carbide burr. And that'll easily cut this steel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just demonstrate just a bit of this, because what I don't want, my camera's in pretty close. I don't want metal shards from this hitting my camera. So I'm just going to show a little bit. And a word of caution that when you take a burr and put it in a hole like this, you've got to make sure that you go in touching a side. Go in and immediately touch the side. Otherwise it'll shatter around the hole and you could shatter the burr. So just watch out for that. So I'm just going to start it up and enter the hole. So it's basically like that, and then I just round it out. And I'll show the finished result when I'm done. Okay, I've got the same bit in. What I did, I finished the hole, rounded it out. It's a good fit. It's not too slack, it's not too tight. The rod goes through fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to clear the rod properly. I also put on a couple more pieces of tape to drill the holes that match these ones, and I'm going to use this drill bit again for that. And then I'll ream them out to this size, and then I'll countersink all of them for the heads of the screws. Okay, I've changed the bit for a step drill. I'm going to use this to get the hole, make the holes bigger. These are really popular these days. I've been using these kind of things for years, but lately you can get these just about anywhere. I really recommend picking up a decent one. These are not created equal. You need one that's good. The cheaper ones generally aren't, but this was reasonably priced, I think like 15 bucks, and they're remarkable. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of oil on this. If I can get some oil on my little can here. Whenever possible, I like to put some oil on these things. It keeps them sharper. So I'm gonna drill these down until I get this screw to fit in the hole properly without sticking up. This is still a little bit too big, so I'll have to work on those too. Speed is something that I've been criticized on before. I generally like to turn the bits faster to make them cut a little bit more efficiently. I'm not into standing here all day. My time is actually worth more than the $15 that this thing costs. So if I get 10 less holes out of it over its lifespan, that's fine with me. The thing is, I really don't have time to waste babying things like this. So I go a little bit faster, I get the hole drill faster, and I move on to the stuff I need to do. That's it. Okay, that's the holes drilled. The plate is basically finished. What I'm going to do is just clean up the face a little bit so I can paint it black. That's just for appearance. Really, there's not much need of doing that, but it is on the outside of the vise, so I would like for it to look good.